Hey Hawks, I'm Kale Wood.
And I'm Justin Lopez.
And you're watching Hawk Talk. Our seniors are gearing up for an epic showdown.
Let's check out our senior knockout promo.
Cha-cha-cha! Happy birthday, dear Marius! Happy birthday! Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'était balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé.
Best of luck, seniors. But now, let's answer a question you're probably asking. What's with the format?
There's a lot of talk about TikTok getting banned.
We asked Ms. Humphrey and Ms. Cavalluzzi a little bit more about it.
Hold up. Would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or unban TikTok?
Dinner with Jay-Z.
I, 17 male 6'3", was walking to AP Physics when a wall of boys and girls dressed in Jenkos and White Fox hoodies huddled up in the dead
It's over, guys. This is it. I just opened TikTok.
A lot of you are asking, how did TikTok come back?
To the breaking news overnight, the social media app TikTok going dark as a U.S. ban goes into effect. ABC.
There have been a variety of different concerns. Most pressing and I think most prominent in the actual ban are national security considerations, since ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, is owned by a foreign company instead of by an American company. There are concerns about the flow of information in both directions.
The other is propaganda, right? So the idea that if China or this company that's controlled by China is able to determine what is and isn't being said on the app and what is and isn't being shown, then potentially they can send out propaganda to the youth of America, which would not be something advantageous for the United States. That's the question. That's where all the best court cases come from, right? Is when we have two somewhat equally valid concerns, right, kind of coming into conflict with each other. So in this case, Congress has said that they feel that the national security risks outweigh the freedom of speech concerns.
TikTok's not the only place you can speak freely. So is limiting TikTok really limiting free speech, or is it just limiting one place where people happen to like to exercise free speech? And that was the real question before the court. And they, of course, ultimately decided that national security concerns outweighed free speech prominently because they said TikTok does not equal free speech. The people using TikTok have free speech whether TikTok is on their phones or not.
I think public opinion plays a huge role, and certainly it should in a democracy. So when people are upset about things like the TikTok ban and they contact their congressional representatives, that can have a sway in what policymakers decide to do.
And as we got closer and closer to that deadline, you started to see more and more panic from elected officials, including many who had previously supported it, because their constituents were mad, because public opinion went, wait a minute, I love TikTok. I don't want to say goodbye.
If you care strongly about something, contacting your representative is a good way to let them know your feelings on the matter.
The impact of public opinion was dramatic, so much so that we saw, again, President Trump, who had supported the TikTok ban initially, say he wasn't going to enforce it, which is 100%, I would say, about public opinion. Laws are passed by the legislative branch, signed by the executive branch, and then they have to be carried out by the executive branch, right, which is sort of government 101. Well, if the leader of the executive branch says, I'm not going to order my government to enforce this, I'm going to tell them to focus on other priorities, then you have a ban without a mechanism. That's like having a speed limit without a cop. Some people are still going to drive the speed limit, but most of them aren't.
One of the advantages that I actually heard somebody speaking out on the radio, because I'm old, the other day, was the ability to organize. So somebody was talking about how TikTok provides a platform for young people to not only share their opinions, but then to organize as a group when there's an issue in society that they want to protest or advocate for. It can be used kind of on the organization side of things to not only spread awareness of a movement, but to actually get a movement off the ground.
Now let's check out something with a bit more energy.
Next up, Jock Talk.
Hey Hawks, I'm Nate Tierney. You're watching Jock Talk. Today we're going to be interviewing the girls basketball captains about the Joe Ryan Memorial Game this past Tuesday. With this being a memorial game, would you say there's any extra motivation for the team?
I think right now, a lot of our games are really important since we're working towards a league title. But we know Coach Matt's grieving and he hasn't taken any time away from the team. So I think we're just trying to show up for him just like he's showing up for us.
Coach Matt is a very key component in our success, and we just want to kind of give our gratitude and our efforts to him and show him that we are grateful for all that he's done for us through this past season and through this tough time in his life.
So how will you guys be able to stay focused during an emotional game?
I think all of our games are pretty emotional because we are so passionate about the game of basketball, but I think this game will be even more emotional because we know what we're playing for, and we're playing for Joe Raya and all of the memories and impacts he's made on our community.
I think we just need to channel those emotions into our play and into our teamwork, both on the defense and offensive end. And we kind of just need to work with the emotions and not let them affect our gameplay negatively.
So what does this game mean to you, knowing the legacy that was left behind by Joe Raya?
I think it means so much. He had such a big legacy, not just in our small El Dorado community, but in all of Placentia and the PYL-USC district.
I think that we stress a lot of sisterhood, and I think we just play together and try to stay united and stay within ourselves to perform how we know we can.
That's all we got for you this week, Hawks. You've been watching Jock Talk.
Great news as always, but now we have a few more extra announcements coming your way.
Let's check out X-rays.
Golden Elementary Science Night is February 6th from 5 to 8 p.m. Contact Mrs. Rassick or see Mrs. Clemmer in room 207 to sign up.
Grand Night is taking place at California Adventure, and the ticket prices are going to increase again on February 28th. Make sure to turn in your forms and $275 to the front office.
Career Day is January 30th. If you know someone interested in speaking, have them scan this QR code and fill out the form.
Second semester tutoring will begin on Monday, January 27th in ELA, Science, Math, History, and the Arts. You can scan the QR code on screen to view the weekly schedule.
Join boys basketball next Friday night, January 31st for their 7 p.m. game against Phillip Park, where at halftime they'll be celebrating Mr. Newberry for Noobs Night.
Well, that's a wrap on this week's episode.
Thanks for watching, and as always, go Hawks!
Excuse me, Brock. You're excused.
Gotta take the time to cut them off, I need help. I know how to make the girl go. I did not like the way you move. I can try, but I can't hide it.